I'm Patricia Ackerman, running for Nevada Congressional District 2. My mother died prematurely in my arms because we couldn't find a doctor in rural Nevada who would take a new Medicare patient in a timely manner. And in the midst of this pandemic, people are dying because they can't go for medical care due to the access or the cost. Our planet is dying. And when you grow up like I did with parents who experienced trauma, starvation, and persecution, I don't take my freedom, our public lands, our clean air, or clean water for granted. I'm a survivalist. I think that billionaires like Trump, who were handed everything on a silver platter, assume that our planet's resources are infinite, that they can keep taking and taking. And even if their beachfront property floods, their wealth is going to protect them. Well, we are not going to continue down this path, because doing so would disproportionately affect the working class, the poor, and the people of color the absolute most. Now, my plan is to create a self-sustainable Nevada, and I am forming the step-by-step plan to do it. Now, my top 3 issues are, number 1, healthcare. Creating a public option creates affordability and it preserves choice. I want to expand rural clinics and improve telemedicine. Telemedicine is great, but useless without sufficient internet service. So broadband, high-speed internet access is a necessity in this age. Let's also incentivize doctors to serve in rural communities. Number 2 is climate change. Nevada is one of the fastest warming states. Now we're seeing firsthand the effects, increased drought, worsening fires that affect our environment. And Nevada can lead the charge in producing renewable energy. So let's make Nevada a green jobs powerhouse and bring these good-paying, secure jobs to Nevada. Solar, wind, geothermal. Now we know that we have a housing shortage, and sprawl exacerbates climate change. So let's push for high-density housing, make climate-resilient new developments, incentivize rooftop solar for homeowners and apartment complexes. Let's focus in on transit-oriented development and planning that lowers commute times. It diminishes reliance on personal vehicles and it lowers carbon emissions. Number 3, reverse economic inequality. It's the worst since the Great Depression. Now we've witnessed the COVID-19 response. $500 billion was handed over to large companies, and yet small businesses need to jump through hoops to get the support that they need. Money that was dedicated to small businesses ended up going to large corporations because Fortune 500 companies have a stranglehold on our U.S. government. Now, there are big and little things that we can do to combat this. Ending Citizens United must be part of this equation. We also need to strengthen unions, close the gender pay gap, increase the minimum wage, reform the tax code, and expand both the earned income tax credit and the child care tax credits. Now, the economy will work again after COVID-19 when we focus in on people, workers, and the small business owners. In a single week in April, as unemployment claims skyrocketed and coronavirus deaths soared, 10 billionaires added a total of $51 billion to their fortunes. It's wrong when the ultra-rich are adding to their fortunes while people are dying and millions of families are struggling to make ends meet. Now, we can provide recovery to the corporations, but the rich shouldn't be getting richer on the back of a public health crisis. So I want to create a rural task force that's going to identify and address the recovery needs of our rural communities. I want to expedite support of our small businesses, support our farmers and our ranchers who've been affected by COVID-19, and oversight of disaster fund distribution to ensure the taxpayer money isn't being put to use to corrupt ends. I also want to be the most accessible sitting congresswoman. Now, much to my campaign manager's dismay, my personal cell phone number is available on our website, ackerman4congress.com. I urge you to follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. That's Ackerman4congress.com. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your time. Please stay safe and healthy. Take care.